They're noticing you're not a fool. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, they're noticing you're not a fool. See, I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, your best don't stand a chance. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say your best don't stand a chance. See, it's going to take their best manipulator, their best liar, the most attractive, their highest intelligent, most intimidating, most clever, right? Even when they stand before you, they still won't be able to take you down, fool you, or trick you. Why is that, Reno? Because you're not a fool. See, when you are a fool, you think as a fool, you move as a fool, you navigate as a fool, you reject knowledge and intelligence and wisdom. You don't want no understanding. Now, everything you get, you won't understand it. You read every newspaper, you read every brochure, you ask the questions, you lead, and you make sure that people are not trying to run game on you. See, you ain't no fool. It don't matter what family member it is, friend it is, who come at you. You still operate with wisdom because you're not a fool. You know, y'all, one movie I love, Waterboy with Adam Sandler in there, y'all. A bunch of classic actors, but Adam Sandler is the star in there. And his mom kind of raised him to be a fool, right? Because only a fool would believe, here's the classic line, y'all, women are the devil, right? Especially if my mama told me that. Mama, you a woman. How can women be the devil if you my mama and I love you so much, right? And you not the devil. That don't make sense, right? Only a fool would believe that. And so she raised him to be a fool. She kind of sheltered him to be a fool. She made him think as a fool. But when he met that woman, he told her what his mama said. Mama said that women are the devil, right? When he told her that, she was like, how can that be true when she's a woman, right? And so when he began to realize that, yeah, I'm the water boy, but I'm much more than a water boy. I'm a man. He started making decisions on his own. He started talking for himself. He started listening to his own inner thoughts, right? Instead of the traditionalism that his mom passed down to him, right? Fear, abandonment, and punishment, and not believing in yourself, and being so afraid of the outside world, and the list goes on. He was moving as a fool, but that stopped when he showed her that I'm not a fool. I'm a man, and I move intelligently, right? And so that's the same thing with yourself. Like, people are noticing that you're not a fool. Maybe you wasn't just like Waterboy, but people probably perceived you as someone less than. Maybe people perceived you as a person with lower value. Maybe someone perceived you as not being able to understand or being weak because you're silent. Whatever the case is, but as they begin to speak to you and observe you, they realize that you wasn't a fool. All right. And so that's what we're going to speak about within this video, y'all. First thing is first, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. What's going on, fam? How y'all doing? What y'all got going on? What y'all ate? All right. Now, for me, y'all, of course, we broadcasting live on the Reno Speaks Life channel. I got to say it for my foodies over here in case you broadcasted or tuned in to my other channel, all right? But anyway, y'all, for my A2s, Day 2s, I'm blessed. I'm doing good. Can't even complain, y'all. I'm still living, all right? But I will say this right here, y'all. I haven't ate anything just yet, but you know your boy gonna grill them ribs. I can't even lie to you. Yeah, I'm gonna grill some ribs, pasta salad with the baked beans, ground beef and the things, y'all. Oh yeah, we gonna do it just like that. But y'all drop in the comments and let me know what y'all gonna eat, how y'all doing, how y'all feeling. Just let me know what y'all got going on. Your big bro is concerned, all right? But anyway, fam, let's go ahead and get directly into this video. Number one, it's gonna be this right here, y'all. They take no for an answer. Yeah, they take no for an answer. So I know it sounds cliche, it sounds basic, it sounds like what's so great about them taking no for an answer, Reno? See, you got to understand something. Most dysfunctional families, most dysfunctional friendships or friend groups, most dysfunctional things, people in general, do not take no for an answer, okay? They're trying to convince you. They're trying to persuade you. They're trying to make you think about the bright side of things. No matter if this is going to put you in the hole, they don't care. They don't care. They just want to be able to say, I got him or her to do it. I got them to do it. I got them to give it. I got them to pay. I got them to say this, do that, whatever. It's all about control. So your no is like, yeah, but why? Yeah, but what's the explanation? Yeah, but yeah. Nino Brown style, right? Wesley Chapel. Yeah. But yeah, the point is, y'all, is that they take no for an answer now. It wasn't like that when you was in the position of not being sure of yourself, not being confident, you know? And so when you say no to them, that really lets them know that you stand on what you stand on. But in return, when they don't question that, it lets you know that they don't see you as a fool anymore. They don't think that they can persuade you or whatever. But I had to say no to a family trip before. I had to, right? That time I said no, I can tell you they thought I was a fool. Because at that time, they thought that they could, persuade me and convince me. The next time came, when I said no, I knew I was no longer looked at as a fool because it stuck, right? It wasn't no convincing. It was like, okay, just let them be. But see, it takes time after time after time after time of standing your ground. And once you do it that last time, it's going to stick with them. And they'll know. It'll get around the family. It'll get around the friend group. It'll get around the town. It'll get around that you ain't playing. No, I'm not. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I'm not playing. Okay? But the point is, y'all, is that they take no for an answer. That's a major accomplishment as well. But number 2 is going to be this right here, fam. They no longer speak for you. Okay? They no longer speak for you. This goes right back to Waterboy. Y'all remember how his mama treated him? She had to speak for him and had to fix his plate, had him sleeping in the kid bed, told him when he was going to go to sleep, told him when he was going to wake up, basically said that you won't be dating no woman. I'm the only woman that's good for you, had a curfew. He was a grown man, right? A grown man. The point is, y'all, is that when people are speaking for you, it's because they feel like you are a fool, all right? And family, here's the thing. This doesn't mean that you've given off that you're dumb. This don't mean that, oh, Reno, I guess I was stupid. No, that's not what I'm saying. Some people think that they can think for you, right? Let that sit, y'all. Some people think that they can think for you, and that's not the case. Somebody drop in the comments and say, you can't think for me? Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, you can't think for me. You don't know what I'm going to do before I do it. You don't know the way I want to do it. You don't know how I want to make my bed up. You don't know how I want to live my life. You don't know the type of woman I want to date, the type of man I want to have. You don't know. But some people start thinking that. They no longer speak for you now. It's the parent-child relationship. Well, he's going to have the son of a baconator. No, mama, I want the baconator. Well, yeah, he's going to have the junior club. No, give me the grown man club. What I'm saying, y'all, is that they no longer speak for you. They thought they knew what you wanted, how you wanted it. I'm not a fool. I know exactly what I want. Number 3, it's going to be this right here, fam. They think before they speak, all right? They think before they speak. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack and backlash for this, but I'm going to say it anyway, y'all. This reminds me of people's great savior, Donald Trump. See, everybody was so happy when Donald Trump got in office. Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, Donald Trump this. I don't hear nothing else about Donald Trump. In fact, his main audience is pissed off at him right now. I see the rallies. I hear it. Matter of fact, when you start hearing that noise go down, it lets you know he ain't been doing nothing for nobody. But see, we're going to talk about this, y'all. I looked it up. I said, dumbest things Donald Trump has ever said. I said that, right? And I'm going to be honest, y'all. 50 things popped up, but I just got 3 things. I'm going to go ahead and say it to you. Number 1, he said that the Biden administration spent $8 million making mice transgender. How is that possible? Google said that was one of the top stupidest things he ever said. It gets worse. He says that I'm running for a 3rd term. Last time I checked, y'all, you can only run for a term 2 times. And you can win 2 times. After that, you can't do it no more. Third thing he said was a day of the purge or a day of purging would curb crime. In other words, he's okaying for people to all be criminals, kill one another, and he's advocating for it, right? He's advocating for it. What president, what leader should be in this position as president, right? Like what person should be in this position as president? They're going to crash and burn, right? And they're going to lead other people into the ditch with him. Reno, what are you saying right now? Now that he knows the people is watching him, he's thinking before he speaks, right? And so, family, that's the same thing with yourself. When people just say dumb things to you and they think that you're going to believe it, best believe they think that you are a fool, all right? When people say dumb things to you and they say it like in this magnificent way, they think you are a fool. He thought that the world were fools. And unfortunately, some people don't think for themselves, absolutely. But some people actually do the research. And eventually, even a fool who decides to wake up and be enlightened will see your BS. And that's what happened to Trump and anybody who's like him. You got to think before you speak. And so when people think before they speak, when they talk to you, just know they notice that you're not a fool. All right. Number 4, it's going to be this right here, fam. They avoid over-explaining lies. They avoid over-explaining lies. So here's the thing, y'all. It reminds me of a guilty criminal talking to a very shrewd detective, okay? A guilty criminal speaking to a very shrewd detective. If you are a guilty criminal, you know what your best defense is? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be held or used against you in the court of law. You better remain silent. But see, when a fool think that they can over-explain lies, the shrewd, that detective, that person, whoever it is, they're going to dissect it, decipher it, ask questions, remix or reverse engineer it. You get what I'm saying? And eventually they'll realize that, oh, you over-explaining a lie. Y'all ever seen the Netflix documentary? I think it's called What Jennifer Did. Man, y'all got to see it. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of dark, but I be into stuff like that sometimes. I don't, just sit in a dark room and watch on the next episode of Snapped or on the next person who killed their best friend. I don't watch it all the time, but sometimes, y'all, it's good to see how people can be compulsive liars, habitual liars, almost close to winning an Oscar for how well they acted that scene out. It'd be crazy, y'all. But anyway, what Jennifer did is about a girl who basically unalived her parents, okay? And she called them. Crazy, right? Anyway, she went inside that office over-explaining a lie. Next thing you know, she's walking out in handcuffs. Crazy. Number 5, y'all, is going to be this right here, fam. They come to you for advice. They come to you for advice. So y'all remember on the movie Drumline, Nick Cannon, he couldn't read music, right? And once they discovered that, like I believe Dr. Lee, but the main one who couldn't stand him, who was intimidated by him, the bald-head dude, when he found that out, he told Dr. Lee, man, he got Nick Cannon off the team, or I believe he got him suspended, something like that, because the requirement was you had to learn how to read music. Like you got to know note by note, right? He was good at playing passionately by his ear. He can hear something and play it well. And you got a lot of successful musicians who can do that. But it's always good to know both. It's like being duolingual, right? Bilingual. Knowing Spanish and English, of course, is going to be better. But if you know English, I'm sure you could speak to somebody who's Hispanic. I'm sure, right? And if you know only Spanish, I'm sure somebody else would be duolingual or bilingual in English, okay? However, it's both. It's better to be both, all right? It is better to be both. However, what Nick Cannon basically did was say, hey, man, I'm gonna show y'all how to play this by ear, not reading music. All right, at the very end of the movie, and the person who was above him actually wanted his advice on that. You get what I'm saying? And so what he basically did was is show them, hey, just because I don't know how to read music the way y'all do, don't mean I'm a fool. And so when people notice that you're not a fool, they'll start asking for your advice. They'll start asking for your help. They'll start including you in projects. All right. But with that being said, fam, we'll do a recap and then we'll conclude this video. But number one, they take no for an answer. All right. Shocking, right? Number two, they no longer speak for you. Number three, they think before they speak. Number four, they avoid over explaining lies. And number five, y'all, they come to you for advice, okay? With that being said, fam, y'all be sure to get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.